Before this video begins, I just want to say that this video complies with YouTube terms of service. This video is purely for educational content and should not be used in the real world without proper permission.
If you've been on the internet for a while, you've probably heard of the term keylogger. Well, what is a keylogger and how does it work? Welcome back to another SC Programs video, guys, where today I'm going to be talking about how to make a keylogger in Python. Now, this will be a very basic keylogger as I don't want to get taken down by YouTube terms of service. So for that very reason, this keylogger will not be undetectable for antivirus, but it will give you an understanding of how they work and what they do. So a keylogger is basically a malicious program that a victim will run on their computer and it logs all their keystrokes. So for instance, every time they press the letter A, S, maybe Q, all the letters of the alphabet pretty much, or any key on their keyboard for that matter, it gets logged and then sent to the attacker. Now, you might be thinking, well, how can we do this in Python? And it's actually very simple. Okay, so to get started, we want to do some imports. First of all, we're going to import keyboard, we're going to import requests, and we're also going to use Colorama. Now, this is just to make it look stylish, obviously, if this was a real malicious program, you wouldn't want to be putting rainbow colors all over it and, letting them know that this is a keylogger. That's probably a bad idea. Then request is to actually send the information we store, and keyboard is to the library we're using to monitor keyboard events. Okay, after that, we need to initialize Colorama. The reason I have to do this is because on some of the computers I use, the terminal breaks when you use Colorama, on some it doesn't. So just do this to be safe to ensure that your colors work. Okay, so before we continue with the video, I want to quickly tell you guys about a new project I'm building called SC School. SC School is a coding community made to help you go from a skid copying random scripts to someone who can actually build real projects and understand what they are doing. Every week, I'll be releasing a new exclusive course module to help you improve your programming skills, whether that's Python, Discord bots, web development, game dev, or cybersecurity style projects in a safe way. Members will also get access to the source code from all my new videos, extra project files, and a private community where you can ask questions, share your work, network with other developers, and build cool stuff together. And no, this isn't just some random $50 a month YouTube cash grab. SC School is something I genuinely want to build long term and is going to only be $15 a month, which is genuinely less than what motherfuckers are spending on a McDonald's meal. So if you actually want to improve your coding skills and be a part of the community, definitely check out SC School by using the link below. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, so now that we've done this, we want to define these three variables. Firstly, currently down. We're going to use this later, but basically we're just storing keys that are currently held down. So the reason we use this is because we want to check later on that someone, when they're holding down the A key, it's only getting logged once when they press it instead of, multiple inputs for the whole second they're holding it down. So we're going to use that for this. We're going to make another array called keylist, and this is where we're going to save all the keys. And then we're going to define a webhook URL, and this is going to be the Discord webhook that we post to. Okay, so to create a webhook URL, all you want to do is come to a Discord channel that you have permissions for, go to integrations, create a webhook, and we're going to call this Mr. Logger, like so. Copy webhook URL, and then we can just paste it here. Now, I got to emphasize, do not share this. If someone has access to this, they can post to it as well, right? So do not share this, keep it hidden. I will be deleting this afterwards, and it is in a test server anyway, so you guys can do whatever you want with it, but it's not gonna work. But yeah, don't share this. Okay, so the next thing that I did was I made some text art. Obviously we want our thing to look pretty cool, and to give you an example of what this looks like, I'll just do like so. Now just clear the terminal, and we can run this. As you can see, we get this amazing text art when the program is ran. Looks pretty cool. We're using Colorama and 4 to have different colors. And if you don't know where to get text art like this, just look up ASCII text art in Google, like generator, pick anyone and just paste it in here. But yeah, that's that. Okay, so the function we're going to make now is our post list function, and basically what this does is it posts the data that we've recorded from the keylogger to our webhook. So what does it do? So first of all, we have this variable called email symbols, and we're setting it to 0. We're then doing a for loop, and we're looping through all the keys in the key list array, and if it equals an @ sign, then we're going to increase the email symbol variable by 1. So the reason we do this is so when we post the webhook, inside the content section, you'll see here @ symbols and then like a colon, and then we count the number of @ symbols. So I guess this is just a cool feature. Like, you don't have to do this. It's not a requirement at all, but I thought, you know, having some analytics with your keylogger logs would be pretty cool to have. So that's why I did that. But yeah, so that's what that for loop there is. The data, so we format it in JSON, and our content value is the message we want to send, right? So keys logged by user, then a new line, @ symbols, keys, which is just the length of the array, because, you know, if there's 10 entries in the array, then we can assume they press 10 keys. And then the key list is just going to print everything in the array. And then we post it like so. We clear key list so we can use it again, like so. But yeah. Okay, so after that, we want to do an onKey event function, and we're just going to pass through an event. So what we're doing is, first of all, we're defining a key variable, and this is going to equal event.name. And what this looks like is literally like the letter A if you press A, it'll be S if you press S, W if you press W, whatever, right? Here we're checking to see if the key is down, not up. So if it's up, it means like when you release the key. If it's down, it's when you press the key, right? But yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. After that, we check if it is in our currently down set. If it is, then we don't do anything, but what we do if it isn't is we add it to the currently down, then we also append it to our array. Basically what that does is it means that for every time someone holds the key down, it's only one entry and it doesn't get spammed. Next, we check if they press the enter key, and then we call the post list function, which is just here. Now the reason this can be any key, by the way, but the reason I chose enter is because, think about it, when you're typing a password or an email, you press enter afterwards, right? So I figured that'd probably be the best one to do. And then here is just some logging that we have in the console. Again, like if this is a super top secret keylogger that you're trying to infect people with, I probably wouldn't recommend, you know, doing all this printing and logging and stuff, but just for skid purposes, I guess it's there. And then going back to this if down statement, we also have an else if statement for if it's up, and that means if we've released the key, then we can get rid of it from the currently down set. Okay, so once we've done all that, we need to write a new line, and that's going to be keyboard.hook, and then inside we're going to write on_key_event, and this is basically just placing a hook on the keyboard events, right? So we're monitoring keyboard events. Okay, now finally, to wrap up the program, after we've placed our hook, we're going to print our text up into the terminal like so. We're going to print 2 return lines. You can probably just append it to this, but whatever. We're just going to put like listening, press escape to stop, and then we're going to put a wait statement on the escape key. So that means, think of it like this being in a while true loop, like it's just going to keep sitting there until you press escape, and then when you do press escape, we're going to get an alert saying closing program, and then we're going to unhook, which is just getting rid of the hook we placed earlier. We can actually probably give this a run. Okay, so let's give this a run. I'll run it up here. As you can see, keylogger, listening, press escape to stop. Now what happens if we type something? So we could do my secret, like so. And then if we go back here, close out here, as you can see, there's nothing here. When I press the enter key, first of all, you can see it gets logged here, right? Secondly, you can see the big webhook that just got sent. So this is what I mean when I say I print the array. Now you might be looking at this and you're like, yeah, analytics work all right, you know, titles there. This is a bit messy, right? And, you know, to that I say you should probably try and extend yourself. What you can do is you can, you know, look for the likelihood of words. Like, I mean, maybe you might do, if there's a shift, let's say like shift M and then an @ then you combine all that, because that's probably something, you know, you kind of got to be smart with it. I think for the most part though, it's pretty good to send just the array like so, because it separates it nicely, right? Like, could you imagine if this was all one big string? It would be a bit shit, right? Like, it'd be so much harder to read, and this is already pretty hard. But you know, you might notice stuff like if I just spam the shift key like that, press enter, it's just a bunch of shift like inputs, right? So you might want to go to the onKey event function, and you might want to ignore certain, I suppose, certain keys like shift or like the Windows key or alt or like tab. But yeah, it's up to you guys. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe.